club are now ready to offer more than 100,000 a week wages to convince Arsenal star to join them. The Gunners have made 7 new signings already this summer, and an 8th one, Pohin Capier, is set to put pen to paper before the window shuts. The focus now has to be on moving players on, and Arsenal have already agreed deals to offload Albert Sambi Langa and Fabio Vieira, both to Hamburg. Jacob Kiwior is also set to join Porto imminently, but there could be more outgoings in the coming hours. Besiktas are ready to offer Arsenal star Reiss Nelson a salary hike. Reiss Nelson's future has been up in the air for several months now. The Englishman spent last season on loan at Fulham, but injuries stopped him from showing his best level under Marco Silva. Fulham are still interested in signing Nelson, who is on Crystal Palace's radar as well on deadline day. Now CBS Sports have revealed that Turkish giants Besiktas are also keen on the Arsenal winger. Nelson could have left the Gunners on a free transfer 2 years ago, but Mikel Arteta convinced him to sign a new contract and stay at the club. That deal increased his wages to £100,000 a week. Now the report claims that Besiktas are willing to offer an increase on the above salary if Nelson agrees to join them. The likes of Fulham and Crystal Palace are under pressure to complete this deal because of the 7:00 p.m. deadline, but Besiktas have no such worry. The Turkish window does not close until the 12th of September, so they have all the time in the world to convince Nelson to join them. What is Reiss Nelson's preference if he leaves Arsenal? A move to Turkey on wages higher than £100,000 a week must be tempting for any footballer. Nelson will have to take some time and think about it if such a proposal is made, but the report claims that he favors staying in England. The 25-year-old knows everyone at Fulham, having spent last season on loan there, while a move to Crystal Palace will see him reunite with his good pal Eddie Inca. As things stand, those moves are said to be more appealing to Nelson, but it remains to be seen whether either of those clubs can agree a deal with Arsenal. Andrea Bura receives call to sell Arsenal star Mikel Arteta, called a magician back in March. Andrea Bura is set for a busy day at London Colony, with Arsenal expected to be busy on transfer deadline day. Arsenal still have plenty of players that they are hoping to offload before the window closes, and they have just received a call about one of them. Piero Hin-Capier could sign for Arsenal as their final new addition of the summer, but the Gunners still need to make room for him. Andrea Bura has now received a call from a fellow Italian sporting director about one of Arsenal's players, and a deal could be on the cards, as Roma have called Andrea Bura to check on a possible deal to sign Arsenal attacker Leandro Trossard on transfer deadline day. According to Orazio Accomando, the Italian journalist claims that the 30-year-old is one of the names that the Galleroschi have added to their list of targets on deadline day. Gian Piero Gasparini's side are looking to add an attacker to their squad and have made contact with the Gunners over a deal for Trossard. Earlier this summer, Trossard asked to leave Arsenal, and he could finally get his wish on deadline day amid interest from Roma. The Gunner winger has just 1 year remaining on his current deal at the Emirates Stadium, and Arsenal will need to decide whether to cash in now or not. The Belgian has played just 37 minutes of football this season and saw Eberetti Az come on ahead of him against Liverpool. The forward has now dropped to third choice in the pecking order in North London, with Gabriel Martinelli also ahead of him in the left-wing role. Contact has now been made between Frederic Massara and Bura over a deal for the player, and Roma are following his situation. TBR Football understands that Inter Milan contacted Trossard about a move earlier this month, but failed to follow up on their interest. Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Trossard, and only last season did he hail the talented winger as he scored in their 2-0 win over Wolves. The Spanish manager also hailed the Belgian's ability to play in various roles, and perhaps Arteta won't want to lose him this summer. Back in March of this year, Arteta told TNT Sports, "Trossard, great player. He's a little magician. He can score on any surface, and he's a big threat. So composed, so cool. He can play in different positions. It's just a joy to have him in the team. I think the timing of the first goal was really helpful as well. I am really happy." France make William Saliba decision after Arsenal injury update. Arsenal star William Saliba could be set for a spell on the sidelines after picking up a fresh injury concern for the Gunners. The defender was named in the starting lineup for the clash with Liverpool at Anfield as the visitors looked to land a statement win in their Premier League title hunt. The build-up had Arsenal plagued with injuries yet again as Bukayo Saka missed out through a hamstring issue, while Martin Odegaard had to settle for a place on the bench after a shoulder problem. Then, 5 minutes into the clash, Saliba went down with an ankle injury as he was forced off and replaced by Christian Massera. As many await an update on the Arsenal star's condition, the French national team have made a call on his fitness for the upcoming round of fixtures. William Saliba withdraws from France national team for September international break. William Saliba's injury is a real concern for the Gunners as he appeared to twist his ankle in the warm-up to the clash. While Mosca impressed for Arsenal from the bench, many would still prefer to have Saliba back fit and available from the start. It remains to be seen the exact extent of the injury, but it seems to be enough for him to withdraw from the France squad. The injury has been described as a left ankle sprain from the official statement, meaning the Arsenal star will be out of action for the coming weeks. He misses the World Cup 2026 qualifiers with Le Bleu, who face off with Ukraine and Iceland over the next 2 weeks. Saliba's injury has naturally brought about some concerns, not least with the big matches coming up after the international break. His absence in the Arsenal team will all depend on how severe the ankle sprain actually is. If it is mild, then he may only be missing for a few weeks, which could see him return after the international break. Anything worse than that, and Saliba could be sidelined for months, which would be a real blow to the team. There will be some hope that he can be back in action soon, not least with the Premier League action and cup competition starting up next month. Alan Partardu says Arsenal fans should be concerned about brilliant star after Liverpool performance. Arsenal suffered their first defeat of the new season away at Liverpool on Sunday afternoon. The Gunners were competitive throughout at Anfield, although they lacked the offensive thrust to cause the home side serious issues in the final third. Dominic Szoboszlai's 83rd-minute free kick proved to be the deciding moment in the encounter, with the Hungarian stepping up and curling a spectacular effort beyond David Raya. The result sees Liverpool move 3 points clear of Arsenal after 3 matches. Alan Partardo says Arsenal should be concerned about Victor Gyökeres after Liverpool display. Arsenal signed Victor Joker for £63 million earlier this summer. The Swede was brought in to provide Mikel Arteta with an alternative option to Kai Havertz up front, with the expectation being that he would score lots of goals for the North Londoners. Gyökeres was poor against Manchester United, but responded to that difficult debut by netting twice in a win over Leeds. However, he struggled at Anfield on Sunday, failing to get involved in the game consistently, finishing the match with just 17 touches. Former Premier League manager Alan Partardo wasn't impressed with what he saw from the 27-year-old, claiming Arsenal fans should be concerned by the showing. "Can I tell you what I'd be concerned about if I was an Arsenal fan? Joker so far," he said on TalkSport. "Yeah, looking at him I'm thinking I want more from you. Sporting is different. They're a great team. He was always going to get goals there, but he didn't look quick today. He didn't get past the center backs. It's a concern whether this kid will step up and be that number 9 Arsenal have been waiting for 3 years. Alan Smith felt Gare was brilliant against Leeds, praising the forwards' movement in behind and the way in which he took his first goal in a game where Arsenal dominated possession and territory. The former Coventry man was able to thrive, finding the back of the net and posing a constant threat to the opposition. However, against Liverpool, in a game in which neither the Gunners nor the Reds ventured into the penalty area very often, the striker was predictably much more peripheral. As shown by the data above, Hugo Ekitike was equally as quiet as Guares, clearly highlighting that this wasn't a game for the strikers to shine. If the Sweden international is as peripheral against Nottingham Forest at the Emirates in 2 weeks' time, then Arsenal fans will have something to worry about, but not for now. Well, folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.